Today's family recipe, my family recipe, is a pan-seared steak that my dad taught me when I was just a young man. And when we were reaching out for recipes that went with, family recipes that went with steak, potatoes came into mind. And we got a recipe that gives me goosebumps from a John Gottfried with T's. And it's from his mother, and they were vacationing out in the Hamptons one summer. They started to make these Potato Latkes, and they were such a big hit, they went to the store and bought more potatoes, and the story goes that they ran out of propane before they ran out of potatoes and ran out of people. So we'd like to try that. I haven't made this one yet. I'm really looking forward to giving it a shot. I used to peel potatoes with a paring knife, and it's the way I grew up doing it. But I learned from my oldest son, Drew, who grew up cooking at the Pineville Tavern, that these are really much faster. So he holds it, he taught me to hold it straight up and down like that, and just hit down into the cutting board. And there's no way to get hurt. There's no way to cut your finger, and always away from you. Just hit the two tips. This recipe says that we should grate the potatoes in one of these very simple tin food graters. And of course, this is before Cuisinart, or BC. I'm sure the Gottfrieds, whenever they hear the word latke, they come a-running. With potatoes, you can never tell how much starch they have in or don't have in them. So what I like to do is rinse them, and the recipe does say to strain them, rinse them and dry them off, and then that gives us a more consistent product. This recipe also calls for some grated onion. And this is what we grew up in our Italian family. We grew up using this to grate the Locatelli Romano cheese for pasta. And that's the side we're going to use for the onions. Put the onion in the fine sieve, and we're going to remove that. Let's clean up a little bit here. And we're just going to tap the sieve to get the water out, and I don't want to press that and turn it into mush. So I'm just going to tap it, and you can see it starting to dry. Let's put that in our mixing bowl. And that is a beautiful 1/4 cup of grated onion. The recipe calls for first breaking the eggs into the bowl, whipping them slightly with the grated onion. Doesn't that look delicious? I can't wait to try these. And then incorporating the potatoes, some pepper, some salt. I'm not going to use a whole lot of salt because this recipe also calls for matzo meal, and I didn't get a chance to go to the kosher market today, so I have some wonderful fat-free saltine crackers that I'm going to turn into matzo meal. This is pretty much an unleavened cracker, although, like I said, it does have some salt in it, but no fat. All right, so we have matzo meal as needed. So I'm just going to put a few in, and I'll tell you why it says as needed, or why I think it says as needed. Again, potatoes vary in starch content, so I think they're in there. Oh, doesn't that look good? I think they're in there to kind of bind things up a little bit, and that looks pretty wet to me. So we're going to add some more. Don't tell anybody it's not matzah meal. And like any great recipe, any great simple recipe, the ingredients and the recipe is only half. The rest becomes technique. When that is the right texture is what actually with this you just want to try and make a little meatball out of it and see if it sticks together. Barely. And barely is good. I have this pan with our cooking oil, which is 90% vegetable oil and 10% olive oil, because we don't want to spend all that money just for cooking and then throw the oil away. I think it's a pretty good thing to remember that if you're going to be eating the oil, it should be good high quality olive oil. If you're going to be throwing it away, then you should use good quality but not high quality olive oil. They look like they're going to be okay, don't they? I don't know. I may be making them too thin. I think the heat, from my guess, is right. The recipe said to cook it on over a medium heat. And let's try with 4 of these babies. And I'm making them again like almost like a meatball, and hoping that the cooking is what's going to hold them together.